Hello and welcome to another episode of the E-commerce Coffee Break podcast. Today we want to talk about two of my favorite topics. We want to talk about conversion rate optimization and we want to talk about AI. Now, big problem for all shoppers out there or the merchants is conversion rates. And we want to find out what value-based commerce is and how AI can help you with this. Now, that's a very broad topic. And as always, I have an expert with me and I'm joined by Mike de La Cruz. Mike, he is the president of iAdvize, an innovative AI company transforming the e-commerce landscape. At iAdvize, Mike drives product marketing and strategy, helping brands unlock smarter and more personalized customer interactions to maximize conversions and sales. He brings a deep expertise in scaling customer experience, technologies, and growth to the e-commerce world. So let's welcome him to the show. Hi, Mike. How are you today?
Hello, Klaus. Thanks for having me on the show.
Let's dive right into it. Most online stores struggle with low conversion rates. Plenty of reasons there, but what do you think is the biggest problem for shoppers?
Well, I think, what's happened in e-commerce is the shopper overload. We put more and more information in a journey that we'd love to orchestrate for every shopper. And in the drive to give as much information as the shopper needs to make decisions, we've made it very complex. It's overwhelming. There's a lot of choices, and it becomes actually unwieldy and not as convenient anymore to get what you want to be able to make a safe purchase.
Mm-hmm. No, totally agree. And I think it's the numbers, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like 80% of shoppers drop off somewhere in the customer journey. And AI comes to help there. Tell me a little bit about your approach. How do you see the customer journey?
Yeah. So what we've looked at in terms of the customer journey is that, for a long time, us included, we were part of a drive to make the orchestrated customer journey a lot more efficient. What I mean by orchestration is we try in e-commerce to do this great thing where we try to attract somebody to a website, get them to our homepage, guide them to a category page, or give them a search bar, and keep moving them down the funnel in a very orderly, step-by-step way. The problem is the consumer does not shop like that. The consumer shops in all sorts of different angles. They are in discovery and considerations and post-sale support all at the same time, all in the same conversation, all in the same session. And so really it's what's happening here is an opportunity to rethink that orchestrated step-by-step e-commerce journey and say, well, what does a real curated one look like? What does it look like to actually take away all the complexity and make it easier for somebody to get the guidance that they need to shop with confidence?
Mm-hmm. No, I like the approach. And obviously, as you said, everyone is coming from a different angle. Everyone has a different approach to shopping, and there might be on different stages on their purchase decision, what they want to buy. And obviously, depending on what kind of industry or what your product have, your shopping journey might look very, very different. Now, let's talk a little about AI and specifically about chat. So years ago, there were chatbots, but that has completely changed. Tell me a little bit on how AI can help with shopping.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, there's AI in customer conversion rate tools and CRO tools. So there's AI in conversion rate tools and there's AI in chatbots. And the two have been kind of siloed pieces of the customer experience. I think what you found with CRO tools is they touched a lot of shoppers, but they had very low success rates. So you were looking for minor 1%, 0.5% improvements in conversion or click through from one stage to the next. What happened with chatbots is it had high interaction, some good automation, but no one really clicked on it. So that's the thing. No one clicked on it to get help to buy something. I think what's happening now with AI is an opportunity to rethink that and to merge these two ideas and to say, what do people really need and when do they need it to shop for something? Of course, we have really evolved and improved how we handle support. So that continues to improve in incremental ways with AI. But how do we actually help with shopping? How do we provide guidance? How do we anticipate what the shoppers actually need at different parts of their process? And how can we advise them to take away all of this noise and all of this choice and help them make a confident purchase?
hmm I like that you mentioned there were chat bots before, but they were separated from each other. I've never looked at it this way, but it makes totally sense. And I think a lot of chat bots back in the time, they were like very robotic, very unpersonal. And obviously with AI, this has changed. Talk me through a perfect experience of a shopper coming to a store. What's usually happening when AI bots help them?
Yeah, I think the main thing is in the past, the AI chatbot would be there available all the time, ready for your questions. Let me know when I can help you. Can I help you? Can I help you? I'm here. Let me know when I can help you. Um, the thing is, nobody clicked on there because actually most people don't know what help they need. They're browsing, they're searching. They may want actually the experience that you get in a store when a sales associate helps you proactively. They help you think through what you're really trying to get, right? And
Mhm.
what's happening now, the perfect experience is to come in wherever you are at. So maybe you came in through an ad, you bypass the search bar, you bypass the homepage, you bypass the category pages, you land just on a product page, right? And the ideal scenario there is you have an AI that's going to anticipate what you might be wanting to know and is ready to advise you to make a selection or choose another product at that point. So that's the ideal experience, is actually that personalization we've been searching for a long time. How do you make it so that it's what's needed at that time by that shopper?
hmm Now, a personal assistant, and I think brick-and-mortar stores is a good example for that, it takes you from wherever you are in the store and takes you to the right product, to the right area in the store. How does that look on a online store?
Yeah, I think in an online store, you do stick with the pages that we know really well. So people understand this orchestrated experience. And on a category page where you're browsing, you have a different need than when you're actually looking at a product detail page where you're clicking through and trying to find specific information or specifications about a product. So just those two examples, they have different needs, and the AI needs to present itself as something that's ready to help you with those needs. In one case, on the category page, helping you filter through all that and find what you need. On a product page, kind of getting your questions or concerns answered and getting that proof that you need, the data that you need to feel confident to move forward.
hmm Let's talk about data. A lot of our listeners are on Shopify, and some of them have relatively big stores with a lot of SKUs. How does AI learn about all the products, about product variations, and provide the right information at the right moment?
Yeah. Well, you know what? E-commerce is really set up to take advantage of AI because of all the work that your listeners have been doing to put their catalogs online, leverage great platforms like Shopify, improve all of that. That is an essential part of what AI needs to become product experts and be able to help the shoppers. That's a key part of it, not the only part. But taking advantage of the fact that e-commerce data is out there. The whole point is e-commerce stores are trying to provide this data out to the
Mhm.
consumer. Being able to take advantage of that and really giving it a different user experience so that that shopping is much more curated, much more one-to-one, and is less overwhelming than the current approach.
hmm Now, I advise you have big brands under your umbrella working with you for a long time. Can you give me some examples of brands that, and you don't need to name them, that work with you and what kind of results they saw after they started using iAdvize?
We're a specialist in e-commerce. And so all these brands are in different industries. We work with different industries in e-commerce, but we do work from mid-size up to large brands. So we would have a mid-size brand. We've got a great glasses manufacturer, online glasses, for example. And what they wanted to do was help get over the difficulties of ordering glasses online. There's something about being in store, being able to ask a store associate about prescriptions, feel confident that you're making the right order, that they needed online. And the idea was to provide 24/7 support with AI. In a lot of cases, help them with their prescriptions, help them understand it, take away any concerns that they have, that they're putting in the right numbers to make a confident order. And so this brand, for example, has 20% conversion rates for shoppers that are shopping with AI. And so our goal is to keep upping the engagement rates so that that 20% goes site-wide, right? And that's a smaller company, but we also have, and that's very focused on the category. We also have Cdiscount in France, for example, the largest marketplace in France, second to Amazon, and they've got 80 million products. So there's a different challenge where how do you actually provide guidance on all of these products that are on your site? And how do you help people go through all the overwhelm they could potentially have when they're shopping and make it easier for them? And they used to have human advisors to help do this only. And by leveraging generative AI and our AI Copilot, they found that the conversion rates for AI are the same as human advisors. So that being able to deal with the complexity of the site.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned your product is called Copilot, and I think that's a good name for it. So how does it guide you through, or put it the other way around? Do you think that a normal way to shop will be through AI and not the traditional online shopping that we're doing for, 20 years?
Yeah, I think there's going to be two types of shopping. People are going to shop in two ways. One, it's going to be the traditional experience of navigating and browsing and making a purchase online on an e-commerce website. That's going to be powered by AI. It's going to be much more personalized, and it's going to be much more advisory, if you will, down the process, rather than giving you big lists of things to scroll through. That's going to get improved. I think there's going to be another experience, which is going to be side by side with that experience, which is walk me through this, as if a store associate took over, in a physical store and said, Klaus, let me help you. I see you're searching through different things. Let me help you. What are you trying to look for? Are you interested in different sizes? Are you shopping for yourself? And having that. So I actually see those two parallel being available. And I actually see that in the mobile world, will be much more curated than it is today, because it's very, very hard to navigate all of this information, especially for somebody that doesn't know what they want yet or is searching for things in that product discovery phase. It's very hard to navigate on mobile. So I think more of that is going to go towards a curated experience.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about the technical side of it. Online merchants, Shopify merchants are always interested in new technologies, but they want to know how complex it is to integrate this in their business. How does it work from your side?
I think the main thing is, if you're a Shopify customer, you're already ahead of the game, because you have a lot of your data and your catalog in a good form. There are different levels of it. Of course, you're working on improving it all the time, but you've got the baseline to be able to start an AI project and begin to deliver and see results and achieve results. I think the main thing actually is thinking about this as an iterative process where you can get going, you're going to see great results, but the iteration is going to come from you really thinking about AI as a transformative tool to help you get closer to what your shoppers actually really need and being able to satisfy it. And in that case, it's really about not about whether it's right or getting started. It's thinking about, well, what's really needed? What information should I provide? What instructions should I provide the AI? What guidance? As if I had a store associate that now I could deploy to every interaction that's happening online. What kind of guidance can I provide? What information can I provide? How can I help it be much more effective? And that's an ongoing process that really, it's not crazy amounts of time compared to training a store associate, for example. But you do have to think about that and not think it's completely hands off.
Mm-hmm. That answers basically my next question. That would have been, is there any homework to do by a merchant before they get started? Walk me through a typical onboarding process. How does it work? What steps are involved? How long does it take?
Yeah, onboarding process really, 3 steps. You would connect with your Shopify catalog. You would take then all the other information. Typically, these would be buying guides, very typical, knowledge articles, very typical, that you would provide, your FAQ documents, you would provide to the AI shopping assistant. And the third is you would test it. So this would be the testing process. People might go from a day or two plus of testing, but really it depends. We recommend to people to test a lot, really get comfortable with how it works, but then deploy it iteratively, to a set of products that you might have, a category that you might have on your website, get really comfortable with it and grow from there.
Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about Shopify, and you have a Shopify app. Are there other integrations, APIs that you're facilitating to get the most out of the data you have?
Yeah. So what we believe is sales, CRO, and CX converge, right? And so we really want to be able to very easily handle pre and post sales questions. We need to be able to provide back information to maybe agents, to customer service and customer support. So we make it very, very easy to push your information, push tickets, escalate to your help desk, right? And so any help desk, push it out to that and make sure that there's continuation with that customer. Now, it turns out most people that are looking for shopping guidance are not going to the help center, or they're not going to support. So they really are abandoning. They're trying, they're searching, and then they're abandoning. So these are net new conversations. And really, most of this is kind of an unserved group of shoppers that AI will now be reaching out to.
Mm-hmm. I like the approach of bringing everything together, because in the past, and I had my own shop for a while, and the same problem. People are searching on different sites, on different parts of the website to get to the contact or point of contact, for instance, for support or product details. And then they just had to scramble through your website to find the right thing. And with AI, you can bring all of this together. Now, you mentioned a couple of clients you work for, but who's your perfect customer?
The perfect customer for us is one, somebody that really is committed to growing online. What we found was a big change for us. We did many AI chatbot projects before generative AI. Most of those projects were about efficiency as the main driver. We surveyed, we've looked at 150 projects with AI right now. 75% of those projects have increasing sales as the main driver. Right. And so by thinking about increasing sales as the main driver, it makes an ideal customer, those that are thinking that way, because it's going to force you and us to rethink the user experience, the shopping experience, and not just do another automation again of your support issues. Of course, we'll handle support issues, but let's really rethink this and why maybe if you already had an AI chatbot in the past, why it really was only serving maybe 0.5% of your visitors. How is it engaging enough? How is it helpful enough at different parts of the shopping experience to drive those high engagement rates and the high conversion rates?
Mm-hmm. I think it's the right time in e-commerce history, if I can say so, that AI now really kickstarts the process, because now with like 2 years into ChatGPT and all the others, people are getting used to use ChatGPT or any kind of system out there in their daily life for other tasks. And now bringing this to e-commerce is just a natural continuation, basically, of what they do anyway. Now, tell me a little bit about, we talked about onboarding. Tell me a bit about the pricing. How is your pricing structure working?
Yeah, so our pricing is going to be based on use, and those use are interactions with the AI. So we have different packages for different sizes based on that. The most important thing about pricing is we want to work with everybody to define kind of an iterative way to go about doing this. So the big thing about pricing is we're designed to price by package of conversations, by volume. And we don't want to push anybody, nor do we think it's a good idea to actually think about your entire site at full volume 3 years from now. We think it's a process, and we've designed everything so that we can work with everybody from where they are and give them a good starting point.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that you're based also in France, not only in the US. How about multi-language, multi-currency? Is that something that you support in your system?
Yeah, the great news is with the advancements in generative AI and large language models, we're able to take advantage of a lot of those capabilities to support multi-language. We have multiple multi-language, multi-currency deployments in Europe, so we do support that.
Okay, cool. Mike, very interesting topic. I would love to talk much, much longer about that. But before our coffee break comes to an end today, is there anything you want to share with our listeners that we haven't covered yet?
I think the main thing is that, AI and generative AI specifically, we've gotten used to it. The novelty's worn off. And the great thing about that is now we can focus on how can this actually transform our business? Mm-hmm. Can we take it from the old use case, which is maybe taking our support automation program and putting it on generative AI and building from there and saying, wait a minute, let's attack the fact that only 3% of my visitors are converting online. And what's causing that? How can we rethink that? How can we really think about the holistic user experience and what users and shoppers are really trying to do, and actually take an opportunity to step back from the siloed piece by piece projects that we have all along this buyer journey, right? Where we actually fragment the customer experience. And now we have a chance to rethink it, with this approach. So rethink that with us. We'd love to hear from you and talk to you about what we're seeing.
On that note, where can people go and find out more about you guys?
iAdvize.com. So go to iAdvize.com, find out about us. We're also in the Shopify marketplace. You could go from there, find out about us, and would love to work with you and share with you our experiences.
Excellent. I will put the links in the show notes as always, then you're just one click away. Mike, thanks so much for the time today to talk about AI, about conversion rate optimization and where the journey goes to. I think it's exciting times. It's a time where a lot of things will change in e-commerce, and I hope a lot of people will reach out to you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.